Hello everyone, I'll be talking about the main aspects of creating and editing sermon videos in this quick guide. These are just the steps that I follow, so feel free to change them and improve them. The most important part of the process is getting the video footage and audio recordings. When we first started, the recordings were done through a video call, usually Skype. Once the lockdown was over, we started pre-recording sermons at the church. At the moment, we record the morning service. We mainly use a smartphone camera, but you can use any camera equipment you prefer. What matters is that you have clear video and audio files. Make sure that the camera is placed correctly at the middle of the pulpit, so that the preacher is shown in the middle section of the frame. If the camera is too high, the inside of the pulpit can be seen, and if it's too low, then the preacher will not be seen properly. So make sure that the camera is centered both vertically and horizontally. When the camera is centered vertically, you will not be able to see that much of the pulpit. Videos are usually published in the quality 720p, but I usually record at a higher quality so that I have the flexibility to play around with the frame while editing. I'll talk more about this during the editing phase. One other thing, make sure there isn't too much background light. For example, the bright light near the choir sometimes makes the video dark or unclear. When it comes to audio, we use a clip-on mic with the camera. In addition, we sometimes use a recording from the mixer and also a separate recording of the piano music. Usually these clips need to be cleaned before being used because there will be a lot of background noise which you don't want on your video. I usually use a software called Audacity, and you can use it to clean your audio with just a few simple steps. Once you have an audio clip loaded on Audacity, just look for a section where there is only background noise. Have a look here.
Good morning, dear friends, and welcome.
This is what we want to remove. So select this section on the timeline. Now go to the effects menu and select noise reduction. In the pop-up window, simply select Get Noise Profile. You don't need to change any of the other settings. Select the entire track by pressing Ctrl+A and then go back to the noise reduction pop-up. This time, just click OK, and Audacity will clean the track according to the sample that was selected. Now listen to the clip again. You may need to repeat this step one or more times.
Good morning.
Let's clean it just one more time. Now browse the whole clip and make sure that there are no other unwanted sounds on it.
Good morning, dear friends, and welcome.
Now that all the unwanted noise has been removed, follow these two additional steps to optimize the track further. First, select the entire track and then normalize it. Then use the compressor tool. You don't need to change any of the settings as Audacity generally does a good job by default. Now export the cleaned audio to an MP3 file that can be used in your video. That's it for audio. Now it's time to create the media that is needed for the video. The first thing is the theme or the cover page. I usually select a few images and ask the preacher to select the most suitable one. Once the image is selected, open it up on any image editing software. We just need to add the CRCSL logo, the name, the sermon title, and a few other details, and then you can save it as image. Videos are usually published in 720p. That means that the videos have a width of 1280 pixels and a height of 720 pixels. So make sure that all your media matches this size. In addition to the cover image, the video also needs the hymns and the scripture readings. I usually create the weekly PowerPoint slides and then export the relevant slides as images. These can then be reused in the video. If the preacher refers to any scripture verses during the sermon, it's nice to show them on the screen rather than having to cover the entire screen with a slide. So you'll need to have those images in the PNG format. The PNG format allows for transparent backgrounds, and most image editors can be used for this purpose. Now it's time to put everything together: the video, the audio, and all the media files. There are many video editors that you can use. I started with OpenShot. It's a free editor and has a lot of features. The download link is in the description. I now mainly use Davinci Resolve. This is also a free video editor. What you need to remember when selecting an editor is the amount of resources on your computer. This includes your processor, your RAM, and maybe even a video graphics card. All of these can make video editing easier, but you would at least need a Core i5 processor with 8 GB of RAM to get started. Let's look at the main steps of the editing process. Let's use the OpenShot editor. Once the editor is open, import all your files. They'll be shown in this section. This is your timeline. This is where you arrange all your files. Once you start editing your video, you can preview it here. Let's start by adding the cover image. Now, add the other video and audio in the other layers. Transitions are a good way to switch from a cover image to a video or a video to another video. At the relevant time, add the slides for the hymns and the scripture readings. These will cover the entire screen so that the viewers can easily read the text.
Gospel according to St. Matthew chapter 7. It'll come up on the screen, of course, and I'd like to read from verse 21 to 29.
Make sure that the slides are timed correctly with the audio.
To 29. These are the words of Jesus. It is again. St. Matthew 7, verse 21. And this is what Jesus said: of my Father, who says to me, Lord, Lord. And this is what Jesus says now. From verse 21 to 29. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven.
You can also use PNG images with transparent backgrounds. These come in handy when showing short Bible verses.
The fool is one who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice. Verse 24 and 26. There is a difference.
The editing process is always different based on the editor that you use. These are just the guidelines, and they should work on most editors. That's about it.